Get ready to be good with your mic, Ben.
Okay, here it goes right by my mouth.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to How Come. This week, we have Rachel Wolfson on, who is an amazing comedian, super hilarious, and the first female Jackass. So I wanted to bring my Jackass on to talk about the movie.
Well, you still haven't seen it, right?
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay. I went and saw that, the new Jackass in theaters, and I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
Loved Rachel in it. Loved all the new people, actually. And just like it made me feel like I was watching the first one again, opening weekend, freshman in high school. Like the energy in the
theater
was just felt like being on a ride at like Universal Studios. I've never been there. It felt like a ride in like Disneyland or something. Like it was just like being
I'll
in a room
take you to
full
Universal
of things. But it felt crazy because just being in a bit. First of all, being back in the movies after
to
pandemic,
begin with,
after pandemic is its own thing. But
our first movie back was Spider-Man. It was amazing,
and that was incredible. Also,
so much adrenaline.
Yes, and it's like, but the way that this Jackass movie just brings every single person in the theater like together in moments of absolute disgust,
emotional
shock,
chaos.
chaos.
Yeah.
Screaming, laughing, crying, like everybody was
vomiting.
Everybody was reacting at the same time together.
Yeah,
and it was just so fun. I felt charged the entire experience. And the stunts that they pull, every stunt that Rachel pulls, just like right out of the thing, like is just absolutely ridiculous. Like I also won't do any spoilers, but like
you can do spoilers. We talked about it.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I mean, there's just she gets stung in the face by a scorpion. You know, about 1 million times, or like and basically any time that there was like something that the group was doing, she was never shying away. She was always in the group.
Like first.
Yeah. So it was an amazing movie, and I just remember like it made me feel like a kid again, like a high school kid. Because when I went to see that very first one, I just went and saw it in theaters, and it was
Did you see it with Jeff and Sam?
No, I saw it with maybe Jeff, maybe my buddy Jeff was there, but really the main thing that I remember was that this kid named Connor, who went to my high school, showed up to the movie. It was a big group of us, but he wore a gorilla costume to the Jackass movie because that's like kind of the vibe.
That's part of it.
And then just after the movie ended, everybody in the movie theater, not just our group, but like everybody went into like Jackass mode. Like you left the theater and people were jumping on cars and pushing shopping carts, getting in shopping carts and pushing people, just like
I feel like that's me after like a musical. Like I leave and I'm like, I should have danced all night. But like you're like, let's get violent and show each other our butts.
Let's poop on each other. Like So it's like, so it was crazy. There was a party right after the show that everybody went to. It was at this guy named Sean's house, and we all went to Sean's house, and Sean had a hot tub in his backyard and a big balcony, like 2-level balcony deck, and everybody's still in Jackass mode, and there are dudes in the hot tub wearing a dog shock collar.
Oh my god.
And Connor, who's in the gorilla costume, is up on the top deck, standing on the railing, being a gorilla, going ooh, 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 above everybody. And I'm in full Jackass mode still, and I just threw a chair at him. And it knocked him off of the roof, and he broke his ankle.
What the fuck?
It was crazy. And I was like,
what was the response to that in real time?
Everybody went wild, and Connor loved it too.
In a positive way?
Yeah, in a positive way, because that was like the vibe.
That's
it was
the
like
vibe.
That was the Jackass vibe. And I mean,
Hurt
like getting injured. Yeah, I mean the injuries in this new movie.
Ben,
that's the one thing.
Chairs
I know.
I was like, let's bring Ben on to talk about like what stunts he used to pull in front of his friend Jeff, because like there's ones that like I know about.
Oh yeah, there's like I do pranks on my buddy Jeff.
Inspired by Jackass?
Yeah, I think ultimately like pretty much everything in my like high school years was inspired by Jackass. Like a lot of like pranking shows, a lot of stuff like that. They were the first.
Yeah.
And it was still on air too. Not only Jackass, but then they had all the spin-offs too. Wild Boys and Viva La Bam and all sorts of crap. So yeah, I think it was definitely influential to, some of my pranks and stuff. But yeah, and especially because Jackass, a lot of their pranks is like nudity or like nudity, pee, like weird shit. Yeah. And so there was one year where it was April Fool's Day and I was actually homesick with mono at the time, and my best friend Jeff LeCoq, I got his sister to give me the keys to his car. He thought I was at home with mono, and I just got naked and got in his car for lunchtime during lunch with the whole purpose of like jumping out and like
you got in his trunk.
Yeah, I got in the trunk of his car. I'm jumping out and no. And then when he came to lunch, Jeff never went to lunch with friends.
Yeah.
He got into the car with like 6 other people. And I was like, oh man, like I don't want to jump out naked in front of all these people. So I stayed in the trunk. They all went and got food. And then in my head, I was like, how am I still going to make this a prank? So I got out of the trunk and I just stole his car. I just stole his car naked. So then when he came out of the thing, his car was gone. And so he actually instantly called me.
Yeah.
He called me immediately and was like,
because you're the prankster.
Yeah. And he was like, dude, if this is you, I'm going to be so, and I'm like, what? What do you mean? I'm home. I'm home with mono, Jeff. And he's like, well, shit, I have to call the cops.
Little
then.
Bennis Bueller.
Yeah. So he said, I'm calling the cops. So I went, oh shit. So then I pulled the car around, like honked the horn, like meep, meep, meep.
Yeah.
And then I'm sitting there naked in the front seat, waving at everybody.
When you first told me that story, I was like, obviously like laughing so hard, but then I was just like, that's so fucked up that I could never pull a naked prank.
Right. I mean, it'll get there. Rachel needs to start taking shits on the floor with all the bros.
No, because it's too sexualized at this point.
Yeah, guys will still jack
They'll
off
still
to
jack off to it. Yeah. I don't know if there's any people at home jacking off to the guys doing their stunts.
No, I don't know. Unless you're like into like fucking like blood and
cock
shit.
and ball torture. And
yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Okay. Yeah. The first movie and the second
Scat
movie,
play.
There's, of course, so much shit. People go to the hospital. There's so much fucking terrible shit that happens. But this new movie, I will say they like one-upped every single thing that I didn't think was possible.
Yeah.
They redo a lot of their original stunts from the first one. Like Johnny Knoxville redoes his bull, getting charged by a bull.
And he got like murdered.
Yeah, he got like absolutely destroyed. And there was one. There was one that Rachel's also in, but it was on a what do you call those? A treadmill. Yeah, and it's on a treadmill. And the original one was just like it's going fast, and like Bam tries to step on it, or Steve-O tries to step on it, and they fall and they hit their head or whatever.
Yeah.
This time they did like it's not just one treadmill; it's like a whole moving like floor, and then they had most of the cast, Rachel included, come out in marching band stuff, like full blown big drums and trombones. And then the second that they hit the floor, of course, they just like instantly biff. But now they're biffing with full marching band equipment.
Hilarious.
And there's like 8 of them. So it's like the first guy falls and goes into the wall with this giant drum, and then it followed by Rachel with a trombone into the wall on top of the guy, followed by Steve-O with it's like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, I don't know why it's like funnier for me to hear about than to watch.
Yeah, I don't think you would enjoy it unless you were in like a theater with people, because you have no choice really except to like scream and hold on to the person next to you and then laugh. Because like a lot of times you just end up laughing after you see someone's like balls literally get annihilated. You just you have no other reaction.
It's like a coping mechanism.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's exactly how I would say that's where it started. It was like Jackass stuff to make my friend Jeff laugh. He used to live down the street from me, so we would come home from school.
You guys might remember Jeff. He was like our only friend in the pandemic.
Right, and we would be hanging out with him a lot, go crabbing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Jeff is always coming over to my house. And we would have 2 hours before my parents got home. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the time it was just I was doing Jackass shit solely to make Jeff laugh. Actually, to make Jeff pee his pants. That was always the goal. If I could get Jeff to pee his pants. And he peed his pants 3 times that I've been doing it. Yeah. So a big one that I used to do is I would egg the inside of my parents' house. Just like Jeff and I would be
like
sitting
where
there.
we lived for 16 months.
Yeah. So where we would be sitting, like in the living room, the nice living room.
Yep.
And there's all nice paintings and photos everywhere and carpets.
It's a beautiful house.
It's a beautiful house.
Yeah.
But Jeff
Very
and I
well
would-
maintained.
Yes, but the way you got Jeff to pee his pants or to laugh really hard is he couldn't expect the egging.
Yeah.
So we'd have to be sitting there very calmly or having a totally normal conversation in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
But I've got like 5 eggs in my hand, like that he doesn't know about. And then I'm like, oh, that's really interesting. And then I just start wailing eggs on the ceiling, on the windows, and Jeff just fucking dies laughing. So it's like egging the inside of the house, peeing on the in the inside of the house.
Yeah, you would pee on the floor.
I would pee my pants on purpose. I would be it would be wearing like basketball shorts and once again just standing there normal, having a normal conversation, and then have pee start running down the bottom of my shorts like onto the floor.
It's like in that Will Ferrell opening monologue where he's like singing and he's just like casually peeing his pants.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I kind of remember that, yeah. Oh yeah, and then just like, more like just
Shitting on the
dumb-
floor.
Yeah, well, so that was like, I feel like that was like a product of the peeing also. It was like, I just...
How do I up the ante?
No, yeah, I think it was just like, once again, it wasn't like I took a dump on the floor. It's like I'm wearing basketball shorts.
Oh.
And then like a turd would fall out of my basketball
Ben!
shorts while I'm talking to Jeff. Okay, yeah. And so then, and then there's less gross shit.
So
There's less gross shit.
disgusting.
Like one time, we have the door to the pantry, and I would just put on a helmet and run headfirst into the door of the pantry. And one time I put my head directly through the door, and Ray and Jane got home, and me and Jeff were like, oh, we were roughhousing, and Jeff pushed me, and I went into the door. And then another time I blew up the downstairs bathroom completely.
What do you mean you blew it up?
So you know those waterproof cherry bomb firecrackers that I
Yes.
have?
Yeah.
So what we discovered if you put those in the toilet,
Yeah.
it shoots the water up really
try this
fucking
at
high.
home, kids.
Really, really high, like to the ceiling,
Yeah.
right? Because it's like in the tube. But it has to sit at the bottom
Like
of
when
it.
Gina Bloom comes,
Yeah.
that is a deep cut throwback.
There you
guys.
go.
It hits the ceiling.
Yeah, it hits the ceiling. It's just like a cherry bomb firecracker in the toilet.
Yeah.
So then anyway, what happened is then the firecracker went too deep down into the toilet, and when it exploded, it just split the toilet completely in half, and then all the water went in the downstairs bathroom. And so what we told my parents about that one is that when they came home, of course, they're like, what the fuck happened to the toilet? There's so much water everywhere. And so what we said was that Jeff heard a bird in the ceiling fan. Stood on the toilet in order to
Get the bird.
check the bird.
Yeah.
And then slipped and then fell and he cracked the toilet. So a lot of times when shit would get broken or my parents would be like, why is there egg on the windows? I'd be like, Jeff.
Jeff was so
Jeff was
hungry.
over. Jeff was over being crazy, just being crazy guy Jeff.
And if you know Jeff, like
That's
he's not.
him at all. And I still do that with like other things with Jeff, like if when we were staying at the house in Portland, like if I drank all my dad's whiskey or something,
Jeff.
my dad'd be like, where'd all the whiskey go? And I'd be like, Jeff came over here, drank all the whiskey.
Ben, you and me are birds of a feather. I literally, Joel caught Robin and I smoking, and I was like, it was Robin.
Yeah.
Also, I never shit on the floor for any of my friends, but my best friend Erica, when we were really little, we used to have a song called "Make a Duty on the Floor, Wipe It Up and Make Some More because you're a Butticus Dudicus." Yeah, Butticus Dudicus.
Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah, and so you were doing it, but we were singing about it on the other side of the country.
Yeah, I was doing it all. Basically, it was anything that we saw in Jackass, basically. It was all fucking poop, pee, cock, riding things. That's another thing. So it was always Jackass. It was always about like riding things you weren't supposed to ride, basically, whether it's an animal or a shopping cart or a loading pallet for whatever. Like, so that was another big one for Jeff. That when he peed his pants was my dad had a push lawnmower, just a regular push lawnmower, not motorized at all. You had no business sitting on that thing.
Yeah.
And I sat on that thing on top of that massive hill that's by our house.
Yeah.
And I went so fast on that thing
Oh
that I had to
God.
bail off of it. And then it crashed so hard into another neighbor's garage. Jeff just doubled over, crying, laughing, pissing his pants because I'm like on the floor bleeding. Also, there's been damage to a neighbor's house. Also, the lawnmower's completely broken. Jeff was having the best time of his life. He was like, Ben's going to be in so much trouble.
You know what? Okay, I have one story. In my you've never been to my basement, have you?
No, I've only just heard about it.
Right. It's really cool. So in the home that we grew up, there's like a basement, and it's got very, very smooth floors, obviously, because it's basement.
Mm-hmm.
And we used to
Cement
go
floors?
like smooth and painted over. I bet there's cement underneath. Yeah. They're not like hardwood basement.
Right. Yeah.
And we would rollerblade down there sometimes. And one time I took my friend Allie down there to rollerblade, and there was this like ramp going from the laundry room like to out, but like if you went too fast down the ramp, you would slam into the wall. Like you had to like kind of like swivel to like go out of the door. Yeah. And so I was like a master swiveler, and I was like, Allie, let's like do this ramp or whatever, and I like swiveled out of there, and she like thwomped into the wall. Yeah. And that was funny to me, but then I felt bad about it eventually.
Nice. Did she get hurt? Did she cry when she hit the wall?
She got hurt. She didn't cry.
Could have.
But she didn't come over again.
Could have cheered her up by taking the fat shit on the floor.
I could have taken a fat shit on the floor. I could have busted in my pants, which is another thing you used to do to make people laugh.
No, that wasn't to make people laugh. That was more to like prove that
impress them.
No, like prove that it was like
a thing that you could do.
Yeah, like
stronging up.
Yeah.
Remember stronging up? He used to flex his little muscles on the jungle gym and bust in his pants. I learned recently he did it for his lacrosse teammates as a teen.
I was doing it all the way up into high school, but it wasn't for like the team. It was like
a few friends.
It was like 5 friends on the team. We're all we're on the road. We're staying in a hotel room, and everybody fucking is like, oh, you can't do that. And I'm like, dude, I can do that in like 30 seconds, bro, because that's literally how long it would usually take. It's like from literally soft to hard to nut to back to soft. It's like a 1 minute process. It's crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah. So I was like, they're like, no fucking way is that possible. And I remember I had to put I couldn't do it with all the dudes in the room,
Yeah.
Even though it's like a super quick process because, they're all laughing. My face gets really red when I'm doing it. I'm like,
yeah.
Right. So I had to put a lampshade of the hotel lamp over my head in order to fucking do it.
And did they check for results?
Oh no, I just reached in and I was like, look at that cum.
Oh my God. See, like
the cum was in my pants. And then there was some disbelief from the guys too, because some guys were like, you put that cum in there beforehand.
I was just going to say, I feel like a lot of Jackass humor is like balls and dicks and stuff. And I'm like, how is this not sexual? And then like you bust in your pants and it's still not sexual.
Yeah.
Like, what is male humor?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I'm so jealous. Everything you do is unsexy. What I will say about this conversation, it is awesome. It is also super like heteronormative gendered. We say like men and women a lot when obviously like there's more than those categories. Mm-hmm. But that is just how the conversation is going in this. But we acknowledge there's many other genders and these are just stereotypical roles. And right now it's just mostly cis men on the show, cis women. And hopefully there'll be more in the conversation too.
Mm-hmm. We need a trans Jackass member.
Yeah, a trans guy, a trans girl. Yeah. One of the things that we talk about in the episode is that like they stopped having women on because like Johnny Knoxville said, like you never want to see a girl get hurt.
I don't agree with that statement at all.
Well, I mean, sometimes we don't want to see women get hurt because like we get hurt too much on the news.
Yeah, because they're like, yeah, no,
it's
but
too real.
You're saying, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I had no problem watching Rachel get hurt. It was great. Amazing. She was great.
Ben, thank you for sharing all these stories.
Yeah, it's nice going down memory lane.
Yeah.
Hope you guys don't think I'm too gross. You know what? Who cares? Go see Jackass, and anything that I did when I was in high school, it doesn't even compare to the kind of shit you would see in this new movie.
I'd love to see Johnny Knoxville nutting his pants in front of all of his friends.
I don't think there's any nutting in Jackass. That's the one thing they're missing.
All right. Love you, Ben.
Love you too, Randy.
Where can everybody find you? I never ask you this.
Yeah, I mean, no, you can find me on Instagram at BennyDNYC. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
But not on TikTok because he got banned forever because of nudity.
Sorry. I was just trying to make Jeff laugh.
Yeah, truly.
How come? How come I can't achieve? How come I can't achieve? I'm rolling up my sleeves. I'm rolling up my sleeves. Oh baby, I believe these guests can help. Cause I can't do it by myself. I wanna jizz.
Are you ready?
Am I here?
You are here. You weren't for a second, but you are.
Is Rachel here?
I think so. Someone named Matthew is here.
Oh my God, I know Matt Edgar.
Well, it's really me.
I know, but still, she was like somebody named Matthew. Matt's her boyfriend.
Yeah, I figured. I just wasn't going to say the full name on.
Oh, but he's a comedian too.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's fine. I just didn't want to go all out.
This is great press for him.
It really is.
We love Matt. We love Rachel. I'm so excited to see you.
Coming to you live from my bed.
Me too.
Oh yeah.
Ben told me that this was the section of the basement with internet. And I was like, oh, I guess I'll just have to sit in bed then.
What a tragedy.
Love it.
Okay, now I know that we haven't fully introed our guest, but we are so excited to have her here. Welcome, Rachel Wolfson.
Full disclosure, talking about sex does make me a little uncomfortable.
You don't have to talk about
but
sex
I
at
love
all.
you. Okay, but I love you, or what? I'm just giving you preface.
Rachel, that's a great thing to say. Thank you for
Okay.
saying that.
Amazing. Let's go.
It's just something I have to work on in therapy.
You know what? That's okay. Also, I had to smoke just a tiny bit.
Please don't apologize.
Not only are you a girl jackass, you're one of the best girl smokers in the world.
I feel like that's such a highest of compliments. Thank you, Remy.
High praise.
It's been the longest week of my life. I haven't had a smoke, man. Like, that's not pressing.
Okay. But you've been substituted with like baby smell. Like you can just smell her head whenever.
Well, not whenever, because she doesn't live with me. But yeah, I guess I get your point. We took her swimming and I had to put her under the water. And everything I've learned has told me not to put a baby's head under the water.
Don't put a baby underwater. Yeah.
And they were like, no, let's just do it. Oh, scary.
And how did she fare? She's still alive?
She's alive. She's fine.
Honestly, it's the theme of the episode. Stunts, baby. Little girls
Literally
doing
stunts, baby.
But yeah, I'm so excited to have you. Welcome, Rachel Wolfson.
Thank you. Thank you for having me and my bed head.
Ugh, we love your bed head. We love your head in bed. Everything about you is perfect. I have to make a massive confession at the beginning of this. I did not see your film, Jackass, forever.
Okay. Totally.
It is not my cup of tea, but Ben saw it and he thought it was amazing and was like, Rachel was incredible.
Oh, that is so nice. Tell Ben thank you. And I totally understand. It's a very particular type of movie. So I totally get it if it's not everyone's cup of tea.
Was it yours growing up? Like, did you grow up watching those types of shows?
I was a huge MTV kid. So I grew up watching the show. And then when the movies came out, I was, I think around like close enough to the age where I could go see them in theater. And for some reason, I loved laughing at people's pain. I think because life is so painful that one of the only ways.
Schadenfreude. I like seeing people's like inner pain.
Yeah.
Which might be more fucked up.
Right. So yeah, I think that's I was a huge fan growing up.
Had you ever done like stunts before? Like it obviously says don't try this at home, but like a lot of people try this at home.
I like never really knew that I would be a person that would enjoy doing stuff like that, like hurting myself or but it all makes sense given like how I grew up. I played sports. I was an athlete and I played basketball. So I feel like I enjoy
physical, at least
adrenaline.
Yeah. That's so interesting from a stoner. But like, I guess.
But when you get on stage, don't you get that like rush of excitement right before you get up?
Oh yeah.
You do stand up.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. It's that feeling. Cause it's like only right. It's like in that moment, you know,
like right before a roller coaster. It's like, oh no.
Right.
But then it's like, oh yeah. Yeah.
Right. It's like that feeling is so unique.
Yeah. My brother is the sweetest man in the entire world. He's really into death metal and like moshing and stuff. And I'm like, Jason, like this is so out of character. Like, what do you like about this? And he's like, we're like all punching each other, you know?
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay.
It's a release.
Yeah, exactly. It's an orgasm in a certain way.
Yeah, eargasm.
This is an orgasm. Welcome.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get involved?
So basically, I noticed one day that Johnny Knoxville was liking a bunch of my content on Instagram. Like
No
I would put up a joke,
way.
yeah, or like a meme or a picture.
Unreal.
And I'm like, why is Johnny Knoxville like my stuff way more than the guy I was dating at the time? Like he never liked anything of mine on Instagram. I'm like, dude, you're losing here.
Yeah, to Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah. And like it wasn't weird. Like he wouldn't like I don't really post sexy pictures, but it was always like my jokes. He would comment. He would post something. I would comment back. So we had good Instagram banter. And then one day he sent me a direct message. And I thought I was being pranked. Because at first I was like, oh God, please don't hit on me. But it wasn't like I just saw the name. So I was like, what is this?
No, it's always suspicious when like a man comic starts like spamming. You're like, do you like me? Or like, are you trying to hang out?
And so basically he asked in the direct message, he was like, do you want to get on a phone call with me? I want to ask you a question. And I was like, yeah. And so I called him. Or he called me, I gave him my number, and it was him on the other line. It was like his voice. I was like, hi, I'm John, like
insane.
It was,
hey, it's Johnny Knoxville from Jackass.
Right. Yeah. So, in the phone call, he explained it was some kind of like anniversary special. And I was like, well, whatever it is, I want to come be a part of it. And he asked if it was like something I'd be interested in. And I was like, sure. Yeah, absolutely. And that, when I went in for a meeting, it was him and the director, Jeff Tremaine, who's like, I mean, these are two of the most iconic men in Hollywood.
Like, I don't even watch it and I'm like, this is huge.
Yeah.
Like, even if you don't watch the stunts, like Johnny Knoxville is like, they're both iconic people. The whole crew is.
Yeah. And so, and like, I grew up watching these guys my whole life. So it was like, oh, wow, is this, like, it's so surreal. So I went in for a meeting. It was like the quickest meeting ever. And because we're all really bad at meetings and also have ADHD. So it was like, they're like, we're shooting the movie. That's when they told me it was the movie.
This wasn't in like lockdown, was it? It's like post.
This was, no. This was the summer before that.
Okay.
So this was summer 2019.
Okay.
And so, that's when they told me.
You're so lucky you didn't have to meet over Zoom call.
I know. Well, yeah, we met in person, and that's when they were like, "Oh, we like her," because they were like, "Is she crazy?" And it's like, well, yeah, obviously, but I'm cool as well.
Yeah, and like they want to see if you like vibe with them because you don't want to just get cast for like being like the token girl.
Right.
You know,
and also I think what they were like, they didn't know it necessarily. Like who they knew what they were kind of looking for, but they didn't know like what were like. I think that you have to be a very particular type of one person to want to volunteer to hurt yourself for other people's pleasure. Like our pain is your pleasure. So it's like,
is she that type of person?
Yeah. Are you that girl? So it was just like, hey, do you want to come shoot or play with us? Essentially is what they said. And I was like, yeah. And then I called my mom and she was like, are you
sex
fucking
party
serious?
Invite on this podcast? It's literally like, do you want to play with us? Like, me and 6 guys.
I know, but it was like less. It sounds that way, but really in person, it was like being like part
goofy
of on the
and
playground.
Fun. Yeah.
Like it really is like, you know,
celebrating like joy. Yeah.
Friendship and stuff. So that was that summer. And then we started shooting December 2019. That was the test shoot. I went in for a test shoot.
Cool. And you had like seen all of the shows before. So you knew kind of like what was going to happen, like the types of stunts. You knew there was going to be like a lot of dicks and balls probably.
Totally. Like I knew male nudity is very much a part and celebrated part of Jackass.
Of this brand. Yeah.
But it's like, what I like about it is it's not really to me sexual. It's always coming from a comedic place.
I don't think it's sexual to any, like what I've heard, like what Ben told me about. I mean, no, honestly, it's probably somebody's brand. Exactly.
100%.
There's probably people coming in the theater right now.
Well, it's crazy because in a sense, I feel like that I've seen articles about how like Jackass helped me realize my sexual identity. You know, like
Interesting.
there's like discourse about what they were doing, like jackasses of the times, and think about what they were doing, you know, 20 years ago, where, you know, there were people who might have a problem with all of these seemingly straight males getting naked, running around, you know, wrestling each other nude. And at the end of the day, you know, it's really about friendship and love, and it's not really a sexual thing. And how like the body, especially the male body, like body
Is
positivity,
funny.
right? Body positivity, because they all are different. You know, none of them look the same. They're all different shapes and sizes.
Are we talking about the dicks or the bodies?
Both in a sense, you know?
I was saying that Ben would do a lot of pranks involving his own nudity. I was like, that's so funny, but like, I could never do that and have it be funny.
Right. Well,
you know
there's
what I mean?
Definitely a line. I think there's a line, especially that, you know, for women, in a sense, at least for me, and well, I think it's a society thing, right? Like the I don't want to say it's an issue, but it lies within society that for women to get naked, it's not a comedy thing per se. It's always going to be perceived as sexual, right?
Totally.
So for me, as a comedian, I'm always approaching whatever I'm doing from a comedic place, knowing that if I were to get naked, that immediately takes the funny out of it. So it's interesting to see.
I feel slighted about it.
Well, in a sense, it's not
obvious,
to say, though,
but it's also like,
I think you bring up a good point. It's also not to say that we can't get to a place at some point where we could find the humor. There's something empowering about finding the humor in the female body, because our body goes through so much change as women. And I think that part of us embracing aging and our bodies evolving is adding humor to that, because that's all we have to cope. Like when our boobs start to sag and shit starts to turn different colors and things like that. I mean, there's a dialectic where it's like, okay, I'm observing that I'm getting old, and also look at how hilarious this might, like, you know, I think, and also there's something beautiful with that too, where it's like, okay, what a privilege it is to actually get to this point in our life where we're observing our body go through this change and like even live this long, in a sense, right?
I think like what you said about it being a societal thing is like so true too, because you'd have to get past that point where it's like, oh, we don't think that you guys are just here for us to like sexualize. Like we'd have to like get on par where it's like, oh yeah, like this is a funny content creator, and like the being naked part isn't the funny thing. Like I do think that I can be very funny naked, because if I scrunch my butt, that is fucking hilarious. What my butt looks like going from full to small, like Ben has said, shout out to so many Bens in this episode, but Ben has said, your butt is hot and funny, just like you. And I'm like, yes, that's the goal. It should be able to be fun. And I know it's because like he does see me as like equal, and like I can do like funny, like saggy, or you know what I mean, like poses in front of him, and he'll be like, that's funny. But I just think on the larger part, it is more difficult at this stage.
Yeah, I think it remains at a societal level. So it's always keeping that in mind, and also just like, you know, pushing the line too, and maybe sometimes even crossing it. It's like, where is that line, you know? Yeah.
So you signed up being like, okay, never me with the nudity.
I never said no to anything. I honestly didn't know what to expect. And I knew, well, I trusted them because they're comedic geniuses, and I trusted in that they knew me doing that necessarily wasn't the comedy, you know? So, but I also knew that like on the first day when we went in for the test shoot, it was December 2019. So we had, as soon as we got to set, there was sexual harassment training. Nice. Because at the time, you know, Hollywood was going through the Me Too movement, and they decided to implement some important changes, like having sexual harassment training on set.
Yeah.
At least whether or not that changes anything, I don't know. But at least it seemed at that point they were taking some
I think
steps.
it does. I think it says to a group of people, like, this is something that we care about.
Well, it says that. And also it's like, hey, if you fuck up, at least you can't say we didn't tell you up front. So
ignorance
you chose,
is not going to get you off on this one.
Right. There's no more claiming you didn't know.
Yeah.
So it was just hilarious because it's like, I'm the only girl in the cast. There's actually surprisingly, there's a lot of women who work on the crew behind the scenes in Jackass who make it happen in a lot of important positions. And I've always really admired and respected that about, those guys really like doing that. So that was really cool. But as far in terms of the cast, I'm the only girl standing around. And then 5 minutes later, I'm staring at like 6 different penises after this set. It was just more like, don't take your work home with you,
Yeah.
But it's like, I never thought of those guys. It's funny because like now hearing how people find them so hot, which is obviously such a natural thing to like feel about this group of guys because they were so much part of our adolescence. And like
everyone was tweeting Johnny Knoxville, step on my neck.
Right. Exactly. Or sit on my face or whatever, it's funny and weird to read those because I look at them now as like such like brother, uncle, father figures, and so it's like I can't even go there, like it's ruined it for me. So but
were there any other new people or were you the only one?
No, there's a whole group of they when they started talking about filming a new Jackass, they threw names in the hat of different people as in terms of like the cast members, like the OGs.
All comics?
No, they I think I was probably the only stand-up they threw in because they never had a stand-up before. Steve-O does stand-up now and they do stand-up. But they had a giant list of I guess people they wanted to include or at least test, and so yeah.
And did any of the other ones make it?
Yeah, there's Jasper. He's amazing. Jasper worked with Jeff and them before doing a show called Loiter Squad. So Jasper and his dad, Dark Shark, who's fucking hilarious. They're in it. There's Jackass, who's my homie. He's amazing. He comes from a stunt background. He does. His name is Jackass, so of course it was like he manifested himself into Jackass.
Oh my god!
Well, his name's Zach, but he goes by Jackass. There's Poopies. He's a pro surfer. He's fucking wild. Like
Poopies, I love that name. Yes,
yeah,
go off Poopies.
That was a nickname he got. I think in 7th grade from shitting in the middle of the street.
Of course.
7th
and on purpose to make his friends laugh, right?
Yeah, of course. And then there's Eric Manaka. He's from London. He is an actor and he worked with Knoxville on his other film, Action Point. So
cool. That's nice because I would be so afraid to be like the only new person in any group of friends, let alone like a group of friends that you like idolize.
Right. Yeah, that was the thing. It was like, oh wow, like I really am walking into set with this already established family,
Yeah.
It's like when the girl or guy brings home someone to
meet the family and they're like, how do you like them? Yeah.
Right.
There's this great clip of Steve-O that I just came across on TikTok. He's like, people ask me like, am I an actor? Am I a comedian? Am I a stuntman? And you know what I tell them? I'm an attention whore.
Yeah. He owns it.
Was the transition from stand-up to stunts easy for you?
I completely fell in love with doing stunts. There's something about, like I said, the adrenaline and and the reaction to pain that I find really interesting, especially
it being laughter.
Right. And also as a woman, it's like, okay, how can we do this where this is still funny, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, when they had me do the stunts, I didn't know what I would be doing. Like, I didn't know I was doing the taser or the scorpion until a couple days before. And they called me and asked me if I was just comfortable with doing something like it. I didn't know the details of the scene or whatever. It was like, would you be comfortable licking a taser? Yeah. Okay, fine.
Yeah. And
would you be comfortable getting bit in the lips with a scorpion. Yeah. So
it was called scorpion Botox, right?
Yeah.
Amazing.
You know, it's hard. We work in Hollywood and we're trying to maintain our youth. So, so yeah, I always came from a place of yes, knowing that at the end of the day, it's all about getting the best shot and getting people to laugh.
Once I fell downstairs, I don't know, I was like 16, and my sister, her first reaction wasn't to help me. It was just to laugh so hard.
That's Jackass.
I was so upset. Did you like have friends that responded that way, like growing up, where it was like, that's our type of humor?
Yeah, like so I grew up in Vegas, and like my friends, you know, they were my guy friends, they skated, and they also were Jackass fans growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Like skate culture from California, I feel like was a very big part of Las Vegas. We kind of adopt
Dogtown and Z Boys.
Yeah, like we, you know, like
and
Vegas,
Z Rachel.
Vegas had like Vegas, like I feel like always wanted to be kind of like California in terms of like skate culture and things like that. So yeah, I mean that was like I would make prank calls with my friends growing up. I mean, I was definitely like a class clown in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like just goofing off.
I love that. I'm so sensitive. I was like, help me. She was like, but this is the funniest. She's like, are you hurt? I'm like, well, like not officially. Like, you don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just always like initially to laugh it off, I think, because it's more, the release is, it just seems like it's like a better release from the tension.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do people get like super fucked up?
Yeah. I mean, in this film, I wasn't there the day this happened, but Knoxville gets really hurt by getting hit by a bull, and he had to go to the hospital.
Oh.
And they still kept the footage, but I'm so glad I wasn't there that day because it would just have been really hard to see.
Traumatizing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like every time you're going, not every stunt is going to be like, have the ability for that kind of outcome. But like when they do, it's like, oh, it's like, you're up.
Yeah.
You know, because like these are your best friends and like you might see something like really fucked up happen to them.
Yeah. I mean, the idea is obviously to get hurt, but to be
okay at the end of it.
Yeah. To live.
Yeah. Bulls are so scary. I was in Pamplona, you know, where the running of the bulls is. And I was with my boyfriend at the time and he wanted to run so badly. And I was like, no. We're going to watch from the side and we're going to run after the bulls. And he's like, you are such a buzzkill. And I was like, or am I saving your life?
Yeah. I even like the mechanical bull is like
terrifying, but always funny.
But yeah, the bulls, that's dangerous stuff right there.
Yeah. I'm thinking about the scene in Sex and the City too, the early Sex and the City when Miranda does the bull.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
And she's like embracing her sexuality and she like rips her shirt open and it's like not supposed to be funny, but it is funny. See, female nudity can be funny.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to convince you to do, I'm just saying in general world.
Like if there was like a class in school where it was like female nudity and comedy, you know, that would be a good example.
And if every job gave like that same sexual harassment seminar,
right?
And every school taught that, it's like, okay, the bodies are not for your perusal. They're just to laugh at.
Okay, now take your dicks out. That would be
take your dicks out.
Yeah. Let's get this shot.
Def not. There was another woman on the cast once, Stephanie Hodge. And I read that she got super hurt in a stunt. It says a model, actress turned agent for a Los Angeles media company served as the cast token girl in the show's early days. That is until a stunt broke her back and pelvis, nearly paralyzing her. And then Johnny Knoxville
vowed that they would never have another girl. So basically, Stephanie was... Knoxville told me, this is from Knoxville's mouth himself, Stephanie was never officially a cast member. She was just a friend of the cast because Jackass has always been about a group of guys rotating friends in or whatever. She just so happened to be I think one of the I think they had like
Not
she
a
was
close enough friend.
no, she was a girl, but she wasn't ever like officially a cast member. Like I was officially billed as a cast member. But that was ultimately the reason why they didn't have women for so long, because she did do a stunt with Dave England where she like broke her collarbone. And like they couldn't even use the footage, and she got hurt and it wasn't funny. So it was like, from that moment they said, you know, no more women. And then, I think when they started talking about the movie, because again, Jackass is always of the times. I feel like it's a reflection of our society. Like they said, it would almost be unfair to not include, like it would be unfair to not hurt a woman. To not hurt, you know?
Yeah. I'm like, my head is like so split over it, because I'm like, obviously, like I don't want anybody getting hurt, but like, especially people that like are, I don't want to say more frail, but like, you are more frail than Johnny Knoxville, you know,
I mean, physically, yes, if you think about it, but if you also consider that pain is also mental, right?
Yeah.
So like I may be physically frailer, or like, you know, my body, I have a women's body versus, you know, a 6 foot, whatever man's body.
Yeah.
But a lot of pain I feel like is mental. Right. So, I think that's where I think men and women maybe misunderstand our level of tolerance of pain and how we're able to tolerate so much.
Well, that's the thing too, is like the female body is also known for just like going through like excruciating moments of pain and putting up with so much pain, and like
starting
doctors
from when
don't
we were
believe
young.
us. Yeah, exactly. About the pain that we experience, because like we do put up with, like we have a higher pain threshold sometimes. Like there is like a joke that's like, oh, like you've never seen anything weaker than a boyfriend with a cold.
Hilarious.
You know, because they're like debilitated, whereas we're like, our fucking wombs fall out every month.
And I get very painful. I get very painful periods. So like, I mean, to the point where I'm like, I can't move. Like I'm bedridden. So that's something that I've just had to deal with from a very, very young age. And I think that that's just something that has, I guess, taught me how to handle pain. And also I've broken bones, and you know,
the only bone I broke, I paid for.
Oh, hilarious.
I'm not adventurous.
That's okay.
It is okay. They make us all different types of ways.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to write anything for the show? Like, did you pitch any stunts? Or
I did. I pitched some ideas because, you know, when we started shooting, we had to go, you know, COVID hit and we had to go to lockdown and we had to stop shooting. So we had some creative meetings, and I did pitch them some ideas. But again, because of COVID, things were more limited to like what we could do.
Yeah, you had to like build everything with a 6 foot distance between you and everyone else.
But like mainly like public pranking became more difficult.
Oh, yeah.
Man on the street stuff was more difficult
person
to
on
do.
the street.
Yeah. So I think that, you know, in some ways COVID made it better, but in some ways it would have been interesting to see Jackass Forever with COVID.
Yeah, totally
affecting it.
Yeah. But I mean,
I love it the way it came out though. Like,
yeah.
It's perfect.
Like I think creative workarounds always make things kind of special.
Yeah.
What was your family's reaction to you being cast?
So initially my mom was like, what? Like she was concerned for sure, because obviously she's like she's like a Jewish mom, and you know, Jewish moms don't want their kids to get hurt. They won't even like let their sons play football. Yeah. So it's like, you know, for as a woman to come to her Jewish parents and be like, hey, I am going to do this. Yeah. They were skeptical at first, but it didn't matter because I told them that this is something that I need to do and that I want to be a part of. And it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. And I feel like it could change my life. So I'm just going to go for it and see what happens.
Yeah.
She was very nervous. Like I remember the first day of set, you know, she was like nervous all day, which, she doesn't show it, but I called her and told her, like, after we shot what happened, her mind was just blown,
Yeah, my mom would be like, call me once an hour just so I know that you're still alive.
Yeah, like the day, like when we shot the scorpion and the day that we shot the taser, she was just like, just text me immediately so I know,
Yeah.
What was really cool is I got to take my parents to the premiere. So I got to actually watch them watch Jackass, which was great.
I feel like their parents are like very involved. Like at least Bam, right? Like
yeah, like, well, for example, we have Jasper now and his dad's in the movie too.
Yeah.
And they're so great together. And it was funny because I was warning my mom because this particular Jackass is very dick heavy. And I was like, Mom, there's a lot of dicks and balls. And she's like, this is not my first rodeo. So like, oh, good to know.
Amazing.
Jackie.
I love that. Jackie might be the next Jackass member.
Yeah. Well,
she could be Jackie Ass.
No, she got her nickname growing up. They would call her Jackass Glass because her last name's Glass. So
it is written.
I know. She manifested it.
She's going to be the funny naked one.
Yeah, right. No, I don't know if that's going to happen, but
that would be amazing.
It would be hilarious.
I'm going to ask the worst question ever. And I already know it's so stupid going in, but like, how did your boyfriend feel about you being a cast member?
Oh, that's not a dumb question. It's interesting because I always wondered if I wasn't dating the guy that I am dating. I feel like if it was with any other guy that I had been with, it might not have like worked out because Matt is incredibly supportive. Like, I date a comedian as well. And you really have to find two people who support each other because there's going to be a point where you guys get opportunities and it could be something like Jackass. I mean, of course, not all opportunities are like that, but I think this is such a unique position for Matt to be in. He has jokes about it. He loves it. He was more just like,
oh my God, yeah, it's a gold mine for him.
Yeah. He was more like, it's like you get to see their dicks and I don't. And it's like, I'm sorry, and so
you're like, I'll take a mental picture and just come to the fucking movie.
And so he was very supportive. He would take me to like my shoots every time and pick me up. And
that's awesome.
And the guys have gotten to know him and they're very supportive and he's friends with some of them. So it's really cool. Yeah.
I don't want to like pry too hard, but like, are there any dream stunts of yours that you would like to do?
I am open. Like I'm down for anything because I'm also just interested to see like where I can take things, in terms of stunts and pain and humor. So for me, it's like, I'm down. I love the public pranks. I love the man on the street. I love the dangerous stuff. But again, it's like, it's with the dangerous stuff, it's only funny as long as like, you
end up okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just finding the balance of all of that.
How do they even like calibrate that? Like it's like, oh, we can only throw a ball this fast at their balls because at a faster speed, like the balls will break.
I don't know if they take that into consideration when it comes to the guys. I mean, obviously I feel like
crazy.
They have, they have medical on set. So no matter what, there's always, someone standing by. But yeah, I don't think I think if like a nut ruptures, they would just see it as bonus footage,
Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah. Do you think, do they have like, because we've talked to adult film actors that will say that they have like therapists on set too. Do they have that for you in case a trauma happens?
No therapist.
Okay.
But they do have like, when they have the animals, they have the animal handlers, they have medical, there's always people there to make sure that if something does go wrong, that we're we're with the people who we need to be with to make sure it's okay.
Does sex stuff happen with animals?
Say what?
I said, does sex stuff happen with animals?
No, there's none of that. I mean,
Okay.
there's no like, no one is having sex with the animals, but like,
Okay, great.
is there like pig semen involved? Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay.
There's gallons of that.
Oh God. Okay.
But
great.
like, there's like, yeah, like, I don't know I don't know how they got the pig semen.
I mean, I feel like that is someone's job to procure it.
Yeah. I mean, like I tend to not ask
breeding
those questions. I think it's rude to ask someone where their semen comes from. I just think it's like, you don't ask people's religion or politics or where did that semen come from? So, but yeah, I mean, honestly, like animals, there's no animals hurt or injured. It's only humans.
Okay.
Totally.
I'm coming off of watching this docuseries on Hugh Hefner and him doing like unspeakable shit with.
I haven't. I need to watch that.
Yeah, it's fucking gross. So, and not in like the funny way.
Damn.
Yeah. Okay, so have you always been able to hang out with like a big group of straight or assumedly straight cis men?
Yeah, I found it's been easier for me, I think, because like as a kid, I started off really young playing sports. I also I had a lot of guy friends. I think I was more of a tomboy. I liked playing on the jungle gym and searching for roly-polies and bugs, and I was just like a gross kid. So
see, I'm so gross too, but then when I'm still like, I'm on a lineup, and I was on a lineup last week, which I'm sure you encounter a lot, but like where it's like I'm the only girl, and every time I'm just like, ugh. And it's not because I like can't hang. I'm just like, I was the only one that you thought of.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just like I kind of like after being in comedy, for at this point now, I'm not that doesn't.
I'm used to it.
I'm so like not even. I'm so like, oh yeah, that like I don't even like it's like almost expected at this point. So for me, it's just like, all right, it's my turn. It's my week or whatever to be on the lineup. But yeah, I think for me, it's I hate when people say that men and women can't be friends. Right. I think I disagree. I think that some men and some women might have a hard time having positive friendships with the opposite sex, but that's because of their personal trauma, not because of any of us are doing anything wrong. And I think that it is important to have friendships with the opposite sex and people who are different than you.
Yeah. All the genders can be friend.
Yeah. Like I love my guy friends. Like I wouldn't trade them for the world. And I think that it's important for women to have positive male friendships. I mean, I think that's important.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, whenever I count like if I were to get married bridesmaids, like half of them are guys.
Yeah, totally. Same.
They're not straight, but like neither am I. So
my guy friends would probably more be on the straight side, but yeah, I mean, it's I love my guy friends.
Yeah. And I think when you like take the opportunity, like as far as lineups go, like this is our job and it's like, okay, they want me, like I'm going to step into that position. But then it's like, okay, cool. Like if there were another girl to come into, like we like that. I feel like such a long time it's been like, no, you don't want somebody else. But it's like, yeah, it doesn't have to all be competition. Like
I think also we need to start creating our own opportunities for us as women, because at the end of the day, we realize like men are just not going to do it no matter how many times. How often do you ask your boyfriend to do something sometimes and he just like forget, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like at the end of the day, it's like, yes, at a certain point, men should maybe step up or whatever, but it's also our responsibility as women to foster the change as well.
Yeah. Oh, every time I'm on I'm the only girl lineup, I'm like, hey, like, about these female comics. Like they're
Yeah,
really
yeah.
funny, you know, like I'll just kind of
Totally.
like slip it in. And obviously like on our own shows, like we book a ton of
Right.
everyone. And like we only employ girls at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing. It's like, we got to be the change we want to see. Right. So
Yeah. You don't want to be a competitive gatekeeper that's like, nope, there's only one spot. It's like, no, like come join us.
Yeah. I mean, also it's like, I think it's also different in New York versus LA, because I just noticed that, like a lot of male headliners take me on the road, and I mainly open up for a lot of, male comics, and it's very rare that a female headliner. I've never opened, I think one time or two times, Jessime Peluso. She's amazing.
Yeah.
And she's very, very super busy, and she does book women, but it's like, you don't see a lot of you don't see that happen a lot, you know.
Jessica Curson's the first person that let me open for her.
He's amazing.
The seller, like Ashley Gavin's the first person who ever took me on tour.
Yeah, for sure.
There's been talk online I've seen now that Johnny Knoxville's retiring, that, or like not retiring from stunts specifically.
Okay.
That I was just thinking that if you have any like insight onto what's going to be, who's going to be taking over, if anyone's going to be taking over, if you're going to be picking up on the stunts or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if like
Kitty.
Pardon my pussy.
Hi.
So I don't know if Knoxville will ever fully retire. Like, I think if anything, he might not fuck around with bulls as much. I don't know what the plan is or what their vision is. I hope that if they make more, I would love to be included and be a part of it. And I'm very grateful for what I have been a part of. So I mean, we'll see. I would love for it to keep going. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Ooh. Okay, I'm going to ask these questions. If you don't want to answer them, you do not have to.
Okay.
We ask everybody on the podcast about their first time coming. Do you remember yours?
I saw this in the questionnaire. You know, what's funny is like, I was trying to remember if I could remember the first time I came, and I really don't. I think I blame the weed on not remembering. I don't think it was like
every time it's like the first time.
I know. Like, I honestly don't think it was with a person. I feel like it was like I was on my own. Like it was with me. Yeah. So yeah.
All the women.
I'm a self-starter.
Put your hands in your pants.
Yeah. I'm a self-starter. That's me.
I love that. Yeah, you're like a rock star. You know, when they're looking for like people on work applications, they're like looking for a rock star self-starter.
Able to come on their own, not from
on command.
A partner. Yeah.
Okay, amazing. Do you have any sexual goals that you want to achieve in the coming year?
I mean, honestly, I just want to be more comfortable with my body. You know, I'm in my 30s now, so I'm starting to see changes in my body, and just becoming more comfortable in my own skin. I think that's something as women, that's almost like a lifelong journey of being comfortable in our own skin, especially because we have so many messages from society telling us how to look and how to feel. And what's acceptable at what age,
and that aging and how is disgusting.
Yeah, like everything down to like what we're supposed to dress and what products we're supposed to use to prevent, you know. So for me, it's just like I want to like cancel all that out and really just at any point in my life, at any age, just be happy and comfortable in my own skin. That's always my goal.
I love it.
Yeah.
Can I ask you how you and Matt met?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So Matt and I met at the Comedy Store years before we started dating. We were both seeing other people, and there was just something about him. Like that was like we met and then we didn't speak until 2 or 3 years later. He was going through a breakup, so was I, and I actually DM'd him, and I DM'd him his own name so that.
On purpose?
yeah, so that if like he didn't reply, I could just like make something up of like, oh, it was a typo.
Oh, I was just
I don't know.
searching you.
Yeah, or I don't know. I just was
Which
typing in
is, might be
something.
creepier.
Yeah, or no, I had like a backup for why.
I once did that on Facebook. Do you remember how like before phones had Facebook, you would log onto your computer or whatever, and like you'd go on Facebook and then you'd like go about your day. I once logged onto Facebook, searched my crush's name, or so I thought, got in the car with my family, and then when I got home, learned
a status.
that I had made him my status. Yep.
Yeah, that's hilarious. That's like a word. That's like a nightmare. So yeah, that's a nightmare case scenario. So yeah, we met, and then we had our first date at a friend's house. We were just like sitting by the fire.
Cute.
Basically, talked all night.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you were both already doing comedy, so it wasn't like
he had been. What I liked about him is he had been doing comedy like for 10 years, 10 plus years or something. So I didn't have to explain to him what I did.
Yeah, or your schedule or anything like that.
Right.
Yeah, and it's like you have like the best sounding board ever, because if you say something funny and they don't laugh, you're like,
That's something that I really love about us is we can help each other with comedy.
Yeah. Rachel, it's been so nice seeing you. I wish we could be in person and
I know, me too. I have
smoke
to come back
all
to
the
New York,
joints.
and you have to come to LA again if you can make it out here.
Yeah, we need to go to LA because Robin, I never even took her to like Man's Chinese Theater when we were there. Like,
I know, I was thinking about that literally yesterday.
Yeah, we never went to In-N-Out.
I know, we didn't get In-N-Out.
No, we got
was
Shake
so
Shack
much.
instead. It was insane. So yes, we are planning to come back.
We'll do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rachel Wolfson, can you tell everybody where they can find you online and where they can see the film?
Jackass Forever is in theaters, I think, for like 1 or 2 more weeks, and then it's going to go to a streaming platform. So stay tuned for that. Follow me on Instagram at Rachel Wolfson, on Twitter at Wolfie Comedy. That's where I post my shows and dates and whatnot. And that's where you can find me.
Amazing. Yeah. Ben says see it in the theater though, because it's like, it's more fun as a group experience.
Yeah. You have to take your friends, family, kids.
Rachel Wolfson, we have to ask this to you after a sexual experience, which this has been. Did you finish?
I just came.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
And we'll see you guys next time on How Come. Goodbye.
Bye.
It's not you, it's me. I try so hard to finish honestly. They say you'll know when you go all the way from A right down to O. Oh no, I think that I've still got a ways to go. Oh, I'm sick of this and I have got to know. How come? How come? How come I can't achieve? How come I can't achieve? I'm rolling up my sleeves. I'm rolling up my sleeves. Oh baby, I believe these guests can help. 'Cause I can't do it by myself. I wanna just...
Hey, Marvel section. Woo. Speaking of Marvel, this is not Marvel, it's DC. But if you want to come see me live, these DC tickets are selling. Go to my link tree in my bio or below here and come see me in DC April 22nd or 23rd. It's a weekend and I cannot wait to see you guys. Who saw the Batman? I did. Don't tell anybody because we're not telling Ben's roommates. But oh man, Patines is so hot and so sad, and I can't wait to review it on Patreon. Speaking of Patreon, there is also an episode up that we recorded this week on foot fetishes, and another episode. Oh no, we took that one down. Okay, but there will, no, just to get this out. Okay, bye.